Welcome to another edition of Pastor Kumuyi's Illustrations.
There should be willingness to pay the price and persevere in service. If we're building, there should be willingness to persevere. Trials will come. Afflictions will come. Opposers will come. Shambalat will come. Tobias will come. First of all, they will say, let's join our ministries together. Let's build together. And we are going to assist you, Nehemiah, in the building. And if you are sharp-sighted, and if you are well enlightened, if the Spirit of God has opened your eyes, you will know they have no part. Tobias, Shambalat, they have no part in the building of the temple for our God. And you will tell them, and they're going to fight back. But you know what Nehemiah did? He called all his people. With one hand, they were building. With the other hand, they were holding the instrument of war. And he said, in the day and in the night, they never put up their clothes except for taking their bath, except for washing. He said, I put half of the people to be watching. I put half of the people upon the walls to be building. And I divided all the walls. To the house of this one, I divided part of the wall. To this place, I divided the wall. He streamlined everything, organized everything. And he himself, he was behind them. And it says, the people had a mind to work. This work of the church is not, for weak people. It's not for people that, they have no spine, they have no courage, they have no boldness, and every little thing they are afraid. If a familiar spirit, a girl, threatens them, and somebody rises up while they are, having the service and says, speaking in tongues and interpreting and prophesying that we're going to kill the pastor if he doesn't run away from town. Immediately you hear that prophecy, or if you were not in church, when you came back, they say, did you hear the prophecy that came out when you were not around? You say, what prophecy is that? It was prophesied. The devil said he's going to kill you if you don't run out of this church and go to another place. If you are like Nehemiah, you say, should such a man as I run? Who is there? A man like me that God has given the project of building a kingdom for my God. How can I run? Let them come. Let them come. Then Nehemiah said, because I knew that the enemy had appointed them to terrify me. The enemy has people he appoints to terrify you. To tell you, if you don't run out of town, they're going to kill you, they're going to destroy you. If you are serving God, you will never die before your time. The number of thy days I will fulfill. Let the enemy roar. Let the devil seek to even devour and destroy. It says, because you have been faithful in a little thing, I will keep you in the time, in the day of adversity. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, the Lord delivereth him from them all. Not one bone of the faithful will be broken. If you are serving God, He will keep you till the very end. Let's look at Luke chapter 14. From verse 28, for which of you intending to build a tower, sitteth not down first, and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. Sit down and count the cost. And before you ever go on, say, oh Lord, I know that in this work you have given me to do, persecution will come, but Lord, I am ready. I know that people will gossip. I know that people are going to almost tear me apart with their gossip and backbiting and rumor mongering and their tale bearing. But oh Lord, I am ready. I have counted the cost. I have known that this is the best thing I can do in my life, and I will do it. You count the cost, that no matter what the enemy is doing, what the enemy is saying, you are going to do the work of the Lord. And once the work is begun, complete consecration, consistent and constant labor to increase in knowledge and skill and spiritual wisdom will be very necessary. Be willing to pay the price, whatever it may be. You know, I've had some of these people, they've come to me before, and I've got used to them. One of them came to me many years ago, and while he was talking to me in my sitting room, I was at the University of Lagos at that time, still lecturing. And he told me that he has some message from God. I said, all right, keep on speaking. So he started speaking that if I didn't believe what he believed, if I didn't go this way and that way and everything, and drop everything I was doing now, that God said he was going to do this and do this and do that. Oh, I said, I'm a child of God. God has not spoken that to me. He has told you, you can go your way. Until he tells me, I will keep on doing what I know he has shown me to do. Oh, he got mad at me. He said, we fasted, we prayed, and God gave us a message to come and tell you to abandon this thing, to remove signboard, to remove all that. And began to say, he said that God will deal with me, he will kill me. I said, wait, go and sit down. If I die, I go to heaven, no problem. So you cannot terrify me with God will kill me. That I'm not a person that will say because you said somebody gave you prophecy that God will kill me. Because of that now, I will drop everything I know in the Bible and follow you. That I'm sorry, I don't work that way. Then I began to talk to him. Eventually he went away. And later he came back again. Well, to cut a long story short, the work of God is still going on. He told me that everything will scatter, and myself, I'll be so disappointed, and this and that. And I've been watching, following up his work. His work, I think, now has broken about 4 times. It divided, and then a small group with him, another person, they divided again, but look at this one that God is doing. Another person came to me and, he said, while we're talking together, he was doing his hand like this and smiling. So I said, why are you smiling? Oh, he said, you will not understand. I said, what's the matter? He said, a loving Jesus, beautiful Jesus is talking to me now. I said, here. He said, yes. He said, while he was talking to me now, his wife just took the car and went out now. He was demonstrating to me word of knowledge. Oh, I said, so that's word of knowledge. That somebody who is taking the car, God will tell you. I said, bye-bye. Then he looked at me and said, this one that you are doing will never last, will never stay. My brothers and sisters, that person, I can't even hear his name anymore now. You see, if you build according to pattern and you count the cost, prophecies may come. People can terrify you and tell you this and that. Stand where you are. Be a good soldier of Jesus Christ. When I was in Mayflower, we had a scripture union at school, and I was in charge at that time. And Ty was militant, atheistic principles. And I was brought up in that community, and I knew, and when Ty is against something, my, is really against it. But, we were a little bit familiar. And when I was at school, even before I became a Christian, I was religious. I used to read Bible a lot and fast a lot, even when I was unbeliever. 1959 was, a time I read the Bible, I prayed, I fasted. I wasn't born again at that time. And, Ty called me and said he had a report about me that I did something. And I said, no, I didn't do it. I was a young boy like this. And when he said, you did it. I said, no, sir. He called me to his office late at night. He allowed all of us to sleep. He came to wake me up. Militant principle. And then he took the whip and Ty, as a soldier before, when he wants to beat you, he can beat. And, he beat me. It was hard and terrible. After beating me, he said, Kumuyi, you did it. And, I was bleeding. And the marks are still on my body even now. And I was bleeding. I said, no, sir. He beat me again and said, you did it. I said, no, sir. He beat me again and said, you did it. You know, even as an unbeliever, I made up my mind. The truth is that I didn't do that thing. You want to beat me and kill me? Fine for you. Then, when he saw that I wasn't yielding, then he let me alone. And recently he came to see me at Bagada, just to look at, what is going on. He said, Kumuyi, you have always been a person of principle. He said, I'm not a Christian. I don't, agree with everything you say, but I respect you because you stand for what you believe to be true. When an unbeliever can come to tell you that they have dissuaded you, they have spoken to you, they have ridiculed you, they have persecuted you, they have done everything, because I grew up there. They sent me to university. When I came back, I spent 5 years there lecturing there, teaching there. Now, and I know everything that went on. Sometimes we'll come to the assembly like this, and they will talk about Bible, they will talk, and he has the English and the grammar. And he will use all the grammar on our scripture union, on our people there. And I will be there in the assembly. We get to the staff room, he will emphasize it again. He'll print out, outline and use big words, distribute to teachers and students. And I was there, and I said, Lord, I'm a Christian, I will remain a Christian. More than 25 years have passed, and thank God, I'm still a Christian. You see, when you count the cost, and you say, come what may, I'm sticking out my neck, I will work for God. Come what may, I will work for God. Will you work for God? Don't let the devil terrify you. And they say, persecution is coming. Let it come. Are we the first people that will be persecuted? We shall overcome. I said we shall overcome.
I hope you have been blessed by this edition of Pastor Kumuyi's illustrations. Please don't let this illustration die. Pass it on to others, and you could be of help to someone somewhere. Till we meet next week again for another edition of Pastor Kumuyi's illustrations. Remain blessed.